Module 7, the nervous system. Nerve structure. The definition of a nerve is a bundle of axons and their coverings extending from the central nervous system. Here is a cross-section of a nerve. It's surrounded by connective tissue called the epineurium. Epi means on top, like epidermis, and neurium refers to nerve. This collagen wrapping covers many groups of axons, each bundle called a fascicle. Each fascicle is surrounded by a perineurium, which is made of the same material as the epineurium. And each axon in the bundle is wrapped in its Schwann cells, and also by an endoneurium. Nerves travel all around your body, commonly using the same pathways as your blood vessels. Nerves vary in thickness, from almost too small to see with the eye to as thick as your pinky finger. A middle-sized nerve is about as thick as a shoestring or a thick strand of yarn. They appear white due to the connective tissue of the epineurium. There are 3 types of nerves: sensory, motor, and mixed, which are nerves carrying both sensory and motor axons. Now, each neuron can send information only one direction. Remember that sensory neurons, which are afferent neurons, send information from the sensory organs, like the palms, eyes, or nose, to the central nervous system, and they can only send information in that direction. Additionally, motor neurons, which are efferent neurons, can only send outgoing information from the central nervous system out to the muscles or glands. But a nerve is a bundle of axons from lots of neurons, so it also can carry axons from both types, sensory and motor. And if it does, it's called a mixed nerve. Now, most nerves in the body are mixed nerves, but there are some that are completely sensory and a few that are completely motor. The optic nerve in the eye, for example, is used for vision. It's a sensory nerve, sending information from that sensory organ to the central nervous system so you can identify what you're seeing. Most of the exclusively motor nerves in the body are found in the area near the eye, too. They are for controlling small muscles that move your eye around. Some nerves, if they are injured, are able to heal, while others are not. For example, if you get a paper cut on your finger, you're injuring some of the fine nerves that identify your sense of touch. But those nerves can heal over time. Yet, if you injure your spinal cord, it cannot heal. Now, you might be surprised to hear that some nerves can heal because you already know that nerve cells cannot undergo mitosis. So if a nerve cell dies, that's it. It can't be replaced. The major reason that some nerves can heal and others cannot is due to the Schwann cells on axons. If Schwann cells cover an axon, the axon can be repaired. But it can only be repaired if the cell body is still living and the 2 parts of the severed nerve are still somewhat aligned. If there are no Schwann cells around the axon, then the nerve cannot regenerate. Well, only nerves of the peripheral nervous system have Schwann cells. In the central nervous system, the axons of the neurons are covered by oligodendrocytes. Thus, if you sever a nerve from the central nervous system, it cannot regenerate. What can Schwann cells do that oligodendrocytes cannot do? If a nerve from the peripheral nervous system becomes damaged, the part of the axon that is still attached to the cell body starts to branch out in hopes of finding the other half. Schwann cells help by forming tube-shaped pathways to guide the branches of the axon to the severed end. That's why the severed ends need to be fairly aligned in order for a nerve to heal. If they're not, the branches of the axon will not be able to find the severed end, even if the Schwann cells help out. Surgeons actually take advantage of this healing feature of nerves. During neural surgery, a surgeon will realign severed nerves as close as possible so that they have the best opportunity of finding each other. Well, oligodendrocytes cannot do this because to create these helpful tunnels requires lots of cells, forming a path that guides the axon along. There are lots of Schwann cells on a single axon, but oligodendrocytes surround several axons at a time, so there's only one cell for many axons. Thus, they can't form a pathway for the injured axons.